Welcome po sa lahat. Magandang gabi po. Ako po si TM Joseph and welcome to the Corporate Mystics. So naka-live po tayo ngayon on YouTube and today pag-uusapan natin no, kung ano yung spiritual journey nyo. Here, my spiritual journey that I think started almost 10 years ago. However, we'll also talk about your spiritual journey, no? So it's more about your journey than my journey. So I want to know, no? Please share it with us so that at least yung mga manonood nito, yung mga they would also see the different spiritual paths and maybe right now they are on the same path as you are, so it may give them inspiration. All right, so what I'll do right now, I'll share this stream to my other friends so that they would see it and we can have our topic. I mean, they can join our topic. All right, so share your spiritual journey. All right. So yeah, let me share this. To our friends. Alright, so sino na lang dyan? Please say hi if you're here. Kuha lang muna ako ng biscuits. Alright, so I'm back. Kumuha lang ako ng biscuits. Alright, so sino pa nandyan? Hintayin lang muna natin yung iba. Hi, Tim. Tim Sabas. Hello, Frater. Good evening. Alright, please say hi kung nandyan na kayo so that I would know. Uy, si Miss Nana. Oy, hi! Hi, Brother James. Hi, Frater James. Good evening, good evening. Alright, so hintayin muna natin yung iba. I'm just sending the link to as more people as possible so that mas maganda yung mas maganda yung usapan pag marami tayo, alright? So, alright, Luna Arcana Light. Yes. Hello there, Alona. Hi, Soror. Good evening. Good evening. Kamusta? So, I'll just make a post on my Facebook page, just to see if meron pang hahabol. Alright. Hi, guys. I'm live now on YouTube. Alright, hi Alona. Anong ginagawa mo? Eto, nagpa-plancha. Uy, ano pinaplancha mo? Mga damit? Hala, damit po. Okay. Kala ko ano? Kala ko pinaplancha mo yung buhok mo. Anong oras ba dyan ngayon, Alona? Alright, so sa mga nandito na member ng Ecumenical Gnostic Order, um, I'm looking at the poll right now. Um, so the modified habit, the modern habit is already 16 votes, while the traditional habit is 14 votes. Grabe. Parang hibla lang ng buhok yung ano. Parang hibla lang ng buhok yung difference. Alright, okay. So sa mga nandito, alright, nandito si Frater Tim, nandito rin si Frater James, tapos si Soror Alona. Alright? Or to sino pa nandyan? I'm seeing 7 people watching right now. Okay. Alright, so, sino yung pinakaunang nagano? Um, Nag-say hi. Si Frater Tim. Tim, alright. So, Frater Tim, share ka naman ng spiritual journey mo. Um, you know, just maybe a brief um, story about your path, about your spiritual path. Bakit ka napunta sa bakit ka napunta dito sa esoteric, mystical, spiritual path. Alright? Actually, you can write it long, you can write it short. It really depends on you, alright? Just share with us. Tapos kasunod niyan si Frater James. Tapos kasunod si Soror Alona or Luna Arcana Light. Right? Ayos ba? Ayos ba, Frater Tim? Share ka lang. See, the purpose of this live stream kasi, we're trying to share each other's, spiritual path, so that, others might see this video and, in a way, baka kasi they're also experiencing the same shift of consciousness. Maybe they're experiencing the same experience as you had before, and, we might be able to help them in their current path, right? Team Saba, sige, try ko ng very brief, 200 characters na kasi. Well, actually, you can actually, cut it, right? So if puno na yung 200 characters, next. We can, so that we can all read your, your comment, your story, right? And of course, we know that the spiritual path does not stop here, right? It's still continuing, it's still evolving. But as to where you are right now, we just want to know saan ka nanggaling dati, what motivated you to go into this path, right? To go in inner seeking rather than just plainly believing in any religious tradition, right? All right, so okay. May nadagdag pa? Please say hi if you're there, ha? Please type hi if you're there. All right? Mafsa Mercelino, hello po. Hi there. Hi, Mafsa Mercelino. Um, Kumusta? Luna Arcana Light, just mention me if it's my turn, please. Okay, sure, sure. So you'll be the third one. Kasi una kasi si Frater Tim, kasunod si James, Frater James, tapos ikaw kasunod. Mafsa Marcelino, hi, I'm Myla po. Iba lang po name ko sa YouTube. Okay, hi Myla. Soror Myla, right? Alright, so Luna Arcana Light, don't worry, I will mention your name if it's already your turn, alright? Okay, Team Sabas, share ko from my childhood up to now. So when I was a child, not so serious, but my background, I'm a Roman Catholic by birth certificate. Okay. I usually, I'm usually very open-minded on different practices. I see. All right. So, according to Frater Tim, since childhood, um, he's already very open-minded, and he is born a Roman Catholic by birth certificate. Well, that's pretty common here in the Philippines because almost 70 to 80% of the entire population here in the Philippines is Roman Catholic, right? Because when we were under the leadership of Spain, they actually captured us for like 333 years, and they bring with them, or they introduce to us the Roman Catholic faith. Abi Apuhin, hello. Oy, hi Abi Apuhin. How are you? Welcome, welcome po. So, yeah, para sa mga bagong pasok lang, kang Soror Myla and kay Abi Apuhin. Our topic today is share your spiritual journey. So, um, mostly kasi dito sa atin, we are on a spiritual path. So, spiritual path is going within instead of actually just plainly believing on, let's say, a specific religious tradition. So, right now, we are encouraging everyone to share their journey. So now we start with Frater or Brother Tim. So Brother Tim right now is actually sharing his spiritual journey. Next would be Frater James. So Frater Tim, Frater James, and then Soror Alona. And then sino yung kasunod? Si Soror Myla, Mafsa Marcelino. You are number four, and then yeah, Abby, you will be number five. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so Tim Sabas. Okay, continuation ng story ni Frater Tim. On my mother's side, my uncles and my aunties practice ng mga orasyon, panggagamot, and talisman. Then, when I'm on elementary and high school days, I had a book gifted to me na ang topics ay different Christians. And, okay, alright, so according to Frater Tim, sa mother side daw niya, mga uncles at mga aunties niya, they are practicing orasyon. So, Frater Tim, ito ba yung mga Latin, right? Ito ba yung mga Latin prayers na sinasabi mo? Na mga orasyon na panggagamot? And also talismans. Okay. So what spiritual path is this? I'm quite curious kasi marami na kasing naglalabasan na ganito. Actually, I think that was after yata ng or before ng martial law meron ng ganito. Because yung mga Filipinos kasi na nasa rural areas, malaki talaga yung malaki yung paniniwala nila sa mga anting-anting, mga agimat, mga Latin prayers. And nakuha nila ito sa mga Kastila. Okay, later we will discuss about the effectivity or the powers, quote unquote, of these Latin prayers. All right, so let's just wait for Frater Tim's continuation of his story. All right, so Abby Apuhin, just Abby is fine. Okay, Abby. Um, Soror Myla, yes. Okay, so you are number 4, Soror Myla, ha? All right. Louie and Class Vlog. Oy, boss. Hi, boss. Thank you for joining me here. Good morning, good morning. All right, good morning. So, tama yung sabi ni ano, no? Tama yung sabi ni Kapitan Ram, 'di ba? Pag umaga, ikaw yung dapat pakinggan kasi pang-perk up yung energy level mo kasi pang morning. Ako naman iba, yung energy ko kasi bro pang gabi. So pagkagabi, ganito mga discussions na ano na maganda pag-usapan before matulog, more on spirituality, positivity. All right. So thank you for joining me. So yeah, do you want to join the discussion tonight? So we're actually talking about um, your spiritual journey. Okay, so yeah, you can join us. So you will be number 5. Okay, if you want to join. Alright, so ito na po continuation ng story ni Frater Tim. Other groups in the Philippines, then also I'm interested at that time regarding Wiccan, demonology, and Satanism. And currently at that time, my mother was suffering with cervical cancer. With my knowledge, yun. Okay. So, okay, continuation pala to ng ano, sabi niya. So, he had a book that's given to him with topics on different Christians and other groups on the Philippines. Okay, that's interesting. And also, Frater Tim, sabi ni Frater Tim, he is interested at that time with Wiccan, demonology, and Satanism. Well, actually, no, yung curiosity natin, it really starts from, these things like paranormal things. Like when you say Wiccan, most likely yun yung mga witches, right? Tapos demonology, Satanism. I think this time usong-uso pa yung ano, yung mga palabas sa ABS-CBN or sa GMA yung bang mga may mga psychics, right? So maybe that's also one of the motivating factors kung bakit ka na nahilig sa mga ganito. All right, good. Tim Sabas, yep. Okay, so these were the Latin prayers. Okay. Tim Sabas, yung pinaka-pillar ko, knowledge yun yung pinaka-pillar ko. Okay, so you started with demonology, Wiccan, Satanism. And that was your pillar. Okay. But sadly, my mother passed away and then we transferred to Quezon province with my estranged father, and that time I'm atheistic agnostic. So then when on second year college, okay, so Frater Tim, so sorry to hear that. Um, so you went to Quezon province with your father, and on that time you became atheist agnostic. Uh, sa isang seeker kasi, I really think, no, dumadaan tayo sa pagiging non-believer. When you're a seeker kasi, um, when you are a seeker, you're actually not a believer, right? So at first, when you were a Roman Catholic, you could have been a believer because somebody told you believe in this religion, right? But after quite some time, when you become a seeker, you slowly remove all these belief systems hanggang sa wala nang matira. So I think no, all seekers came to that point of breaking down their core belief system so that they can truly seek or find what their heart is longing to really find. And that's totally understandable, and minsan though these things happen, or the catalyst for these things are really really those emotional events in our lives. When there are events that has a great impact to us, um, yun yung isa sa mga sa mga motivating factors kung bakit tayo nagpupursue sa isang spiritual path. Alright, so Team Sabas, I read a book in our uni library titled Who Are You? Question of Identity. Then after reading that, a week or month, another book titles uh, Bhagavad Gita as it is, and Srimad Bhagavatam after that. Coincidentally, a friend of mine invited me on a yoga center with free meditation class and hatha yoga plus free dinner. Oy. There, coincidentally, I saw a portrait of the author of Who Are You? All right. So, um, so you've read a book, and after that book, it led you to another book and another book, and then you were invited by a friend to a yoga center and meditation class, and there's also free dinner. And by coincidence, quote unquote, you saw the portrait of the author of Who Are You? All right. So if we come to think of it, Fraterno, and also the author of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So eto na. Kasi when you started seeking, you've already removed all of that, let's say, foundation belief systems that you had. Slowly, it seems like there are meaningful coincidences happening, right? You've read something, you go to this place, you've met someone, you saw this and everything. All right, so it seems that, everything is in order. Para bang pinlano lahat, right? It seems to be a coincidence, but Carl Jung calls that synchronicity. All right, and you saw the portrait, right? Portrait of the author of Bhagavad Gita as it is. That center is a Vaisnava center, where after some time I decided to undergo to become a Brahmachari or a student under the center. So fast forward 2015, another problem. Another problem comes and I lie low till 2018. Okay. So Frater, when you become a Brahmachari or Brahmachari, that's what they call it. Does that mean you need to become a celibate, right? So, para sa mga nakikinig, no, a Vaishnava, this is actually a Hindu sect that honors and worships Vishnu, right? Vishnu and his incarnation. So, um, Hinduism kasi has lots and lots of gods and goddesses. And their understanding of gods and goddesses is different from the Western understanding of what a god is and what a god is not. Um, However, though there are so many gods and goddesses in Hinduism, they have this big three, or they have like a trinity. So they have Brahma, the uh, the creator or the emanator, Shiva, which is the destroyer, and Vishnu, which is the what do you call that? He is the one who preserves. So yun, Vaishnava. It's a sect that honors and worships Vishnu. All right, Team Sabas. Yup, with some basic principles, more on Bhakti Yoga or worship and service. Okay, so if you're a Brahmachari, you need to be celibate, and also yeah, basic principles, and also Bhakti Yoga or worship and service. Now, here's the thing. In the teachings of the Advaita Vedanta, mostly kasi yung mga nagpa-practice ng Advaita Vedanta, they are under the god Brahma. And also the people who practice uh, Kashmir Shaivites, or those who are in Kashmir, most of them are Shaivites. They believe that, uh, we are the gods and goddesses of this world, right? We are an extension of God, rather. God is within us. But in Vaishnava, correct me if I'm wrong, Frater Tim, in Vaishnava, they don't believe in that. Your purpose in this world is to merely worship and honor God, right? Is that correct? Anyway, let's continue with the story of Brother Tim. All right, so okay, so yeah, so 2015 and 2018, you said that you lie low. Why? So comes and I lie low till 2018 with my religion and spirituality. On 2018, I decided to start a new study, Buddhism, and I attended Pure Land Buddhism lectures. Then I searched for Vajrayana Buddhism. I see. So, Frater, uh, uh, won't you mind sharing what happened in 2015 to 2018 kung bakit ka naglaylo sa spiritual path mo? Okay, Team Sabas. So I managed to search the order, quote unquote, but later found out it was not under Vajrayana Buddhism. Okay, I understand. Yes, in Vaishnava, Team Sabas, yes, in Vaishnava, it's worship to God, particularly Krishna. Yes, true. Because you need to worship in Vaishnava, ano kasi, sect, um, it's worshiping Vishnu and all his incarnations. So with that, pure devotion kasi yun eh. Kaya nga di ba bhakti yoga. So devotion, more on service to God. Um, it's not more on, um, inner seeking of you becoming a god or unleashing your true potential. However, sa Vaishnava kasi iba eh. Your full potential is only for God. That's it. Alright, so may nadagdag pa? Sino pa bang nanonood ngayon? Please say hi ha. Please type hi in the comment section below if you are here. By the way, yung topic natin ngayon, we're actually sharing of our spiritual paths. So right now we are listening to Frater Tim Sabas story of his spiritual journeys. Right now we are reading his story on on the chats, right? So kayo din na, please share your story. All right? So okay, Tim Sabas. To continue with Frater Tim's story, um, my problems were unlawful. My problems were unlawful termination, so I sue my employer. Okay, you did. Which was a foreign company. Then, due to some of my action, I got sick. Then, with no job and sick. Then, financial problem comes. Then, my dad died. Oh, Frater. Again, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, I didn't know that you've been through all of this these past few years. I can only imagine what had happened to you. um, maybe these experiences have really um, molded you and pushed you forward to really seek the light and seek that that inner God within you, because all of these devastating events, these are really devastating. If these happen to me, so I can only imagine what I would do. Team Saba, so here right now I'm here. Haba ng story. All right, Frater, thank you so much for sharing your story. And at least no, at least now we know what is your spiritual journey, and saan ka nanggaling, what happened. At least we now have an idea. Though we really didn't know the specifics, but at least right now we have an idea. Um, how was everything for you this past few years? So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing with us your story. All right, namaste. Team Sabas. Anyway, with every tradition that I met, I learned and allow me to grow and understand. Yes, Frater, that is the most important thing. Because when the student is ready, the master will appear. And the master is not a person. The master is your higher self, your higher intuition. And anything na makikita mo, it becomes your teacher, right? You will get lessons from there. Luna Arcana Light, I'm back. Uy, welcome back. Haba ng story. Alright, Team Sabas. Thank you too. You're welcome, Frater. Luna Arcana Light, hi, Fraters and Sorors. Lenny Acompañado, hello po. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Joe. Greetings from Dubai. Hi, Mama. Um, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sino pa ba? Alright, so nasa na si Frater James Ligaspi. Frater James, andyan ka ba Frater James? Are you still there? Alright, so no? Kakatapos lang ni Frater Tim mag-share ng spiritual journey niya. It's very, very moving and very inspiring as well. Actually, Frater Tim is still going to school, right? And you are also working at the same time. And along with this, ini-insert pa niya yung spiritual practices niya for inner seeking. So, kita niyo yun? Hindi rason na busy ka para hindi ka mag-seek spiritually. Di ba? Ay, busy ako, hindi ako makapag-meditate. Ay, busy ako, hindi ako makapag-pray. Si Frater Tim nga, oh. Power. Alright, so nandyan pa ba si Frater James? Frater James? Alright, Frater James, namaste to all Fraters and Sorors. This is my spiritual journey. Namaste to all Fraters and Sorors. This is my spiritual journey. Naka-prepare na. Wow, grabe, Frater James. So I hope noon, habang nagsasalita or habang binabasa ko kanina yung journey ni Frater Tim, I hope noon nagsusulat na kayo dyan para copy-paste na lang para mas mapadali yung discussion natin today. Alright? So, after Frater James, it will be Soror Alona who will be next. Next will be Soror Myla. Alright? Alright. So, Soror Alona at tapos Soror Myla. So, while Frater James is sharing his story, you can actually type there ahead of time your spiritual journey, maybe on your notepad or on your Word, so that after Frater James, copy paste na lang kayo dito sa chat, alright? Tapos babasahin ko yung mga stories nyo. Alright, James Legaspi. Dito pa. Haha, okay, very good. Alright, so Frater James, part 1. Uy, parang comics lang. Sige, basahin natin. Alright, so part 1. Martial arts lang talaga. Pero dahil I was able to uh, pero dahil I was able on using energy, edi mas nag-deepen ako hanggang nakarating sa practice ng witchcraft. Then suddenly, I met a mentor na mentor ko din siya noon. Okay, so you started in martial arts. That's interesting. Kasi we need to understand, no? Martial arts kasi, this is just an outward expression of spirituality. Martial arts actually just started in meditation until one day monks started to move their body so that the energies in their chakra will be channeled into the different parts of the body kasi meron tayong 7 major chakras and there are also minor energy pathways dito sa natin, sa buong katawan natin. So when you start moving in a certain direction, doon nagfo-flow yung energy. Alright? So, bukod sa self-defense, ang purpose talaga ng martial arts, this is an outward expression of who you really are. Sabi nga ni Bruce Lee, martial arts is actually an expression of who you really are. And that's mahirap yun. So, dahil sa martial arts, nakarating ka ng witchcraft. Okay, and then you met a mentor. That's good. Next, that mentor na nakilala ko was sent by Mahakala. Dahil when that happened, I called to the universe to send a teacher when I will be ready. So I seek knowledge, mas lalo ako nauhaw. Okay. So this teacher that we are talking about, this is a real person, right? Just want to make sure. Part 3. Then, for so many revelations na na-receive ko with my meditations and so many infos given by Seth and Horus, I seek more of the mystics. So, to make the story short, naglaylo ako muna. Okay. Part 4, sumali ako sa mga humanists sa Happy, then saw Frater Joseph, and then its history. Pero galing ako sa ancestry ng mga priest. Halos lahat ng Legaspi na priest kadugo ko sila, pero ako lang yung nandito. Okay? Part 5. Now, I am a Luciferian, practicing self-deification but eclectic, focusing to deeper seeking to learn more. James Legaspi. So, as of now, I am studying AB Psychology. Tapos yun, mga nalalaman ko lalo sa spirituality para nagagamit ko din sa field, hehe. Pero I want to become a parapsychologist, ha. Yeah, that's pretty good. Becoming a parapsychologist is something, right? Because kukunti lang kasi yung mga tao na nagpa-practice ng parapsychology. Kailangan na mas maintindihan natin kung ano nga ba talaga ang nasa higher realms or yung bang nasa paranormal. Because when we talk about paranormal, iniisip kasi mostly ng iba yung mga multo, yung mga all these things na nakikita natin sa TV, which in fact is not. Kasi we call it paranormal because this is not quite observable by our three-dimensional senses. However, there are still so many things that is in the paranormal, hindi lang puro ghosts, hindi lang puro mga elementals or whatnot. Angelic beings, ascended masters, spirit guides, meron yan. So, yun, being yung sinabi mo kanina, Frater, na gusto mong maging para psychologist, actually maganda yun. Kasi Ang mga parapsychologists kasi, um, I don't know because right now, yung reputation talaga ng paranormal experts ko, no, is medyo tainted na. Medyo may doubt na yung mga tao sa kanila. Kasi meron nga naman talaga mga peke. Meron nga naman talagang nagkiklaim lang na nagkiklaim na wala naman talagang experience, wala naman talagang abilities. Sinasakyan lang nila yung kasikatan ng ng concept ng paranormal stuff. So for someone like you that is really seeking, and for someone like you who really knows the path, then maybe if you will pursue this uh, academic path of parapsychology, then maybe may patutunguhan to. Alright? So you are now a Luciferian practicing on self-deification. Does that mean you are practicing like making yourself into a deity, right? Is that it? Is this more like the path of Levian Satanism? James Degaspi, so as of now, I'm studying AB Psychology. Tapos na pala to. Alright. Pero nagawa ko na yun, one-inch punch ni Bruce Lee by letting the energy of the earth to flow from the pith papunta sa katawan. Gained access then with parang ultra instinct. Interesting. Yeah, actually, pwede naman nating gawin talaga yung one-inch punch. But the thing is, yung kung gaano kalakas, yun lang. Kung gaano ka-effective yung transfer ng energy galing sa paa mo. Kasi we have bows. Bows kasi ito. May mga bows kasi tayo. Ito mga joints natin. Pati yung joint ng tuhod. Hanggang dun sa heel ng paa. Kailangan yan, yung synchronization, pag galing sa paa mo, pag nag-bend yun, pushing forward, patungo sa tuhod, paakyat, dito sa hips, hanggang dito sa shoulder, hanggang dito sa elbow, hanggang dito sa fist. So yun, dapat talaga proper yung execution para makuha mo yung 1-inch punch. Alright. James Legaspi, yun, mentor ko na yun. Mentor ko din siya sa past incarnations. Okay. Interesting. So you're trying to say, Frater, that you already know that you have been reincarnated, right? For different lifetimes. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to say? Nana FG, good evening. Just dropping by for 20 to 30 minutes for a while. Hi, Soror Nana. Good evening. Thank you for dropping by. So yeah, yung topic kasi natin dito, we're just sharing of spiritual experience. So right now I am reading the spiritual experiences of our fraters and sorors. It started earlier with Frater Tim. Now it's Frater James turn to share his story. So gusto mo bang mag-join? Ang next kasi nito si Soror Alona. Next si Soror Myla. But if they're not here anymore, then you can share your spiritual journey after that. Alright? Alright, so Frater James, I was a priest then in ancient Egypt. Tapos puro shaman o mga spirit doctor sa past lives. May mga consequences din pag nag-regress. Ika nga, all have a price na katumbas. Okay. So, just want to ask, is this mentor of yours, siya ba yung gumawa ng past life regression sa'yo? James Legaspi, yes, tainted, grabe, nabababoy na lang halos yung field. Ako para educate yung mga naliligaw at patuto pang lalo. Right? So yeah, that should be the motivation, no? In pursuing into a spiritual path that has an impact to the society. We really need to educate people on these things because this is not something that is yung bang ano lang, um, yung bang, this is not something that's can be likened to a joke. Hindi naman to joke, hindi to katatawanan. All right? These are real things. There are energy entities out there that we need to understand. And we also need to understand that we have a transcendent aspect. We're just not flesh and bones and blood. We have a spirit, we have a soul. And once we gain access to this, we might be, or we will be able to see the world behind this physical dimension. Right? So, yun lang. If we educate people on that, then I think may patutunguhan talaga. Alright. James Legaspi, yes, pero hindi gaya ng Leveyan. Kinukuha ko lang yung self-deification kasi eclectic ako talaga. Okay. Yeah. Iba kasi yung Levian Satanism, more on path of indulgence kasi yon. Alright, so sa mga nakikinig ha, baka isipin nyo, oy, nag-uusap na sila about Satanism, baka ano to, mga devil to sila, mga demonic to sila. Hindi po, Levian Satanism is a path, but it's called the left-hand path because Levian Satanism is created by Anton LaVey. This is actually not ano tawag ito, hindi ito yung traditional Satanism talaga. However, this is actually a path towards enlightenment then. That's very surprising. However, this is the path of indulgence. This is the left-hand path. And the stricter religious traditions is the right-hand path. Now, what is the path that I am following? It is the middle path. So, the path that I am sharing, my personal path, I'm not judging other people's path, but my path is, the middle path. Not on the extremes. All right? But yeah, the interesting kasi yung Levian Satanism kasi they don't believe that Satan exists. But they get the concept of Satan as the collective evil of the world that also exists within us. Very radical yung philosophy ng Levian Satanism kasi kung hindi daw ginawa ng mga simbahan ang image ng isang evil Satan, demon, deity na evil, hindi magkakapera yung simbahan, hindi mapoprosper yung simbahan. So, the church needed to create an enemy so that it would be relevant. Kasi kung walang enemy, if everyone just know that the Satan that we are talking about is actually just within us, this is the evil inclination of our heart, then, mababawasan yung control ng simbahan. Mababawasan yung mga offerings and church attendance. Alright? So, they cannot control people. And, remember how they controlled empires using the word of God. So, yun yung kinuong concept ng Levian Satanism. And it makes more sense, especially during the time when Anton LaVey created the Levian Satanism. Maraming mga celebrities na pumasok dito. And, it is the path of indulgence. And Levian Satanism does not, go for human sacrifices. And hate and rape is a crime that is really not tolerable by Levian Satanists. But surprisingly, most of the rapists of today are religious people. Alright, that's a different topic. James Legaspi, yung impact kasi pitik lang, frater, dampi lang yon. Pero yung damage sa internal and sa labas ng katawan. Yeah, true. Yung 1-inch punch, parang pitik lang siya. 1 inch lang talaga. However, it's very strong kasi nga galing sa baba yung force. That's very effective punch, but kailangan mo yung ma-execute with the proper timing, proper body posture, and right set of mind, at nasa right condition din yung body mo. James Legaspi, then yung mentor ko na yun, namatay lang siya last year. So sorry to hear that, frater. Lagi naman ganun after niya magturo. Nadideds na lang bigla. Tapos na yung mission niya, frater. Kaya nawala na siya. James Legaspi, and I thank you all for listening. Haba, hehe, namaste, fratters and sorors. Namaste, frater James. So thank you for sharing your spiritual journey. Um, we really appreciate it, frater. And Frater James Legaspi, hindi siya yun gumawa. Ibang friend ko na practitioner na kasama ko din or soulmate din. I see. So iba pala yung nag-facilitate ng past life regression mo. Okay. Okay, very good. James Legaspi, and I do also cross-overing earthbound souls, which is dyan ako nag-focus kahit ngayon. I see. So, is this somewhat like helping earthbound souls so that they would cross to the next dimension, right? That's interesting, Frater. I hope marami ka pang matulungan dyan. I hope marami pang mga families, especially those families that has earthbound souls na relatives, no, na kamamatay lang or maybe namatay na ng medyo matagal-tagal na panahon but hindi pa rin matahimik yung kaluluwa. So, if you are offering that service, that's actually very good. And if you know how to do that, very good. Very good. Marami kang matutulungan yan. Luna Arcana Light, alright. Very good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to your story. Alona, Miss Alona, Soror Alona. My spiritual journey started at the age of 2.5. I understand people around me and event at an early age. I can actually read numbers and letters at that age, and my mom is like how a child can read. Wow, very interesting. So you mean 2 years old ka pa lang, nakakabasa ka na, nakaka-understand ka na ng numbers. That's amazing. Well, most people, if you are not a spiritual practitioner, most people, if they see these things, they would say that this is, or you are a child prodigy, quote unquote. However, to spiritual practitioners, especially to those who are adept in the esoteric arts, they would really say that these people are actually highly advanced souls. So meaning, this is not your first life in this world. You have been reincarnated for so many times already, and you are just carrying the positive karmas that you have brought from your previous life, from your previous lifetime. So all the intelligence, all the talents that you have right now is actually a product of your past life. All right. James Legaspi, yes, helping bro, kaya may contracts ako sa underworld or afterlife deities. Interesting. Luna Arcana Light, I don't talk to people around me, I just love reading. All my childhood and teenage years, kasama na doon ang Bible na nabasa ko from 8 to 9 nung bata ako. Wow. That's really interesting kasi ako, when I was young, I don't like reading, especially the Bible. I just love watching TV, especially anime. But reading the Bible, 8 to 9 years old, that's really something. Jan Dating. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. 93/93. Welcome, namaste. Hi there, Soror. Kumusta? Luna Arcana Light. I was a product of physical abuse of my brother, but I don't know why, kasi di daw ako mapasunod sa mga bagay na dapat ginagawa ng natural na bata. Okay. So it seems like you are a bit weird, right? Because that's what they think of us. If you are different, if you do not fit into the standards of the society, then yun nga, sabi ng kuya mo or kapatid mo, 'di ba? Di ka mapasunod sa mga bagay na dapat ginagawa ng natural na bata. Parang hindi ka natural. Yeah. Yun nga eh. What's good kasi about the uh, um, the shamanic culture, alam niyo din doon sa doon sa South America, not just in South America, no, even in China, dun sa mga provinces na ng China, they still have that shamanic tradition that those people who are born with, let's say, gifts. Minsan kasi yung mga shamans, they tend to be different from others. And yung iba nga sabi nila, um, para na itong mga baliw. So, in a community that believes in shamans or that has shamans, especially in South America, doon sa Peru, sa pa mga kalapit na mga places doon. These people, they have this continuing education for these gifted individuals. Kasi may mga shamans na matanda na, but they've been through that. And someone guided them before. And when their guides are, wala na ngayon, patay na siguro. And sila na yung mga shamans na nag-exist sa kanilang community. They know that there will be like one or two or maybe few kids who will be born that the same as them, advanced spiritually, and they will be training those people to become shamans, to awaken their gift, to enhance their gift, instead of putting them in a box, instead of restricting them from really exploring their full potential. Because right now, in the modern society, we don't understand these things eh. We have very limited knowledge about this. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, no, nung sinabi ni Frater James kanina na he wanted to pursue parapsychology, I said that's great, because if there will be people who will be pursuing studies that deals with the paranormal and connects it with the normal, then we might be able to help these people understand themselves well, and we will also be helping their parents and the entire community surrounding them on how to support this kind of people, because these are seers, these are mystics, naturally gifted mystics, whereby they will be a great help to the community one day. All right. Jan Dating, namaste. Namaste, Soror. Ricardo Srochmain Omel, listening, frater. Welcome. Thank you for dropping by. Jan Dating, that is toxic and sad. True, very toxic, very sad. Luna Arcana Light, however, I continue my self-seeking even if my life is shaking literally at age of 19. I saw in my dream all things that gonna happen to me after 11 years yan. Mga event na nangyayari sa akin in the present. I see. So you have these dreams, you have these visions. So when you were 11 years old, right? You already had dreams of what will happen to you today. I see. Have you met a shaman before? Or have you met another mystic seer that may have the same experience as you, so that that person may be able to, really guide you on how to nurture that gift, as you were sharing it today, that gift that you have? Because it's really important to have a mentor that is aligned with your abilities or with your skills. Yun nga sabi ko kanina, the shamanic community in South America and also in China, and in China and Mongolia, is those communities, they have shamans that helps the younger generation to understand their gifts because they've been through that as well. So yun. Um, if you've met someone very good, you might be able to, learn on how to, navigate your visions. Yun talagang may guide kasi for now, if wala ka kasing guide, parang random lang lahat. Random lang lahat. But you can actually also do self-study. That's actually good. There's a plethora of information over the net. But I still suggest that you have a mentor, someone who has the same shamanic abilities as you are, because I can really feel um, by your explanation right now that you may have that gift of being a shaman. Nana FG, all right. My spiritual journey started when I questioned my beliefs and those wherein I and others grew up in, from the church to the common folk superstitions, even God. Yep, that's very relatable. Same with me. Um, that's where I started. I questioned everything. I questioned the answers that was provided to me. Why? Why am I here? Why do we go to church? Why do you light the candle? Why do you need to believe in Jesus? Why do you believe in the Trinity? It's too complicated. All right, so Nana FG, but then after a while, in the middle or in the midst of that confusion, I found I strengthened my faith and resolved in some things, even in my belief and love in God and the spiritual. Yeah, that's nice. That's good to hear because when you started questioning everything, parang nawala yung mga limiting beliefs mo. Parang nawala yung mga beliefs na nanggaling sa ibang tao. Instead, you were able to have an experience and now you have your own beliefs that is based on your own experience. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nana FG, likewise, when you love something or someone, whether it be a person, God, or the concept of spirituality, you try to understand it further. That's very true. Christopher Lebrias, high five. High five, brother. So, yes, brother Christopher, is this your first time to be here? Welcome, welcome. Luna Arcana Light, age 21, aside from divination and foresee the future past present, I am drawn to astrology up to now that give me more capability to help people in anything I can. Age of 23 and do basic physical. Yeah, that's very good, Soror Alona, no? At the age of 21, you started divination to foresee the future and past and present. And yeah, I think astrology is a good let's say outlet for you, in order for you to be able to really express this gift that you have right now. All right. Um, Yun din naman yung mga gamit ng mga ancient shamans, kaya lang wala sila mga cards. So, gumagamit sila ng mga omens from animals, weather, stars, and whatnot. Tas ngayon, nang dumating na yung modern astrology, meron na mga tarot cards, and all other things. So, everything, this is actually just energy work. Yun nga, di ba? When the student is ready, the master will appear. So basically, in anything that you do, you touch, or let's say in every place that you go, in anything that you use, or in every person that you meet, there will be hints, and you will be able to see those hints clearly kasi nga you are ready, right? When the student is ready, the master will appear. All right, so sino ba Soror Myla, andyan ka pa ba? Abby, are you still there, Abby? Abby, Soror Myla, and also Christopher Lebria. So, yeah, please share with us your spiritual journey, no? Yun yung topic natin ngayon. So, wag na lang siguro nating gawing one by one. Ano na lang, if you have already written your stories there, um, if yeah, I'm sorry, if you have already written your stories there in your notepad, paste it here. All right, so let's discuss all your stories, and I'll just give some commentaries about your stories. Don't worry, um, we are all open-minded here. There are no judgment here. Just share your story as open as possible. All right. Okay, so Christopher Lebrias, yes, first time po may something na nagsasabi sa soul ko na manood. Namaste, Brother Christopher. So yeah, just feel free to comment. And also, if you are already in a spiritual path, brother, internal seeking, not really going into a religious tradition, or perhaps, yeah, going into a religious tradition, but more of an internal seeking, please share with us your story about your spiritual journey. All right. So, Nana FG, it helped me make sense of things, connecting science with faith while exploring both psychology and theology, from magical to mundane, how things aren't really as separate as we thought. That's very nice because that's what's also happened to me, Nana. We have the same experience. Um, you know, metaphysics and quantum science. These are actually the links between science and spirituality. And these things suddenly blurs the difference, or let's say this blurs the line that separates the mundane from the spiritual. That's very nice. Uh, so, Myla, hi. Oh, andyan ka pa pala. Soror, hello. Uh, Abby, yes. Okay, nandiyan ka pa din pala. All right. Thank you for staying. So yeah, just share your stories here, please, so that we will be able to discuss and know you more on your spiritual journey. Nana FG, um, yeah, going back to you, FG, um, and it makes more sense, right? It makes more sense once you realize that these things pala are not that separated from each other, right? Um, you, me, everyone, we are really not separated. It's just the idea that we are separated that separates us. But in fact, we are not, because we are the same. Uh, we are the same human organism. At the same time, we are actually created of the same elements, the same compounds within our bodies. We are made up of the same substance as the sun, the earth, the moon. We're actually just one. And we're connected with nature. We're connected with everyone. Our consciousness is connected, right? We are just a conduit of life. So when I die, I don't really die. It's just the ego personality of Joseph that dies. But the uh, the energy within me, the soul or the spirit, it just goes back to the universe. And it's just there. Alright? Mafsa Marcelino. So as of now, Myla, so as of now, nag-uumpisa pa lang ako sa spiritual journey ko since last year. Sa totoo lang, di ko pa alam kung saan o ano ba talaga ang path na para sa akin. Since nakilala ko ang isang kaibigan ko last year, siyang nagmulat sa akin about spirituality. Sa ngayon, seeker pa ako kung ano talaga path ko. Yeah, Myla, Soror Myla, well, um, we are all seekers, no? We don't stop seeking because um, being a seeker kasi, um, dalawa kasi yan. May mga tao na they claim to be seekers, but in reality, they are not seekers. They just need a validation of their belief system na ah, totoo pala tong pinaniniwalaan ko. They just need validation. So, may mga tao nasasabi sila na seeker sila, but they keep on insisting their ideas, their ideologies, their belief systems, and those are not seekers, right? So when you say that you are a seeker, you have that um, you have that motivation in you that anything that you believe to be true right now, there is an immense possibility that in the future it might not be true. You might believe that because it resonated with you for this period of time, but after quite some time, if it does not resonate with you anymore, then you let go of that belief. So that's a seeker. And until we die, we are still seeking. We don't stop learning, because when we stop learning, we die. We stop growing, right? So last year, may isa kang kaibigan na nagmulat sa'yo about spirituality. That's wonderful. Sometimes the universe moves in mysterious ways. There will be events in our lives na hindi natin ina-expect na ganito yung mangyari. However, suddenly this happened. And then when it happened, it seems to be like a coincidence. It seems like magic. And when this thing happened, you will be led to this thing, and you will read this book or be in this place or whatnot. You've read a quote on Facebook and whatnot. It seems to be a coincidence, but it's not coincidence. It's called synchronicity. Luna Arcana Light, or Soror Alona. I saw the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and I saw that in one of my dreams before together. You as one who leads peoples, madami na ako nabasa na books from my dreams. Isa na yan ang Gospels. So you saw the Nag Hammadi scriptures in your dream, but you haven't heard of that before. Am I correct? The Nag Hammadi kasi is, the Nag Hammadi library is a very hot topic, especially in the esoteric world, especially in Western mystery traditions, because these are the books that was not burnt during the time of Constantine the Great, because the monks most likely were able to hide them inside a jar and place them underground, kaya hindi ito nasunog. And I saw that in one of my dreams before together. Ba't may ako? You as one who leads people. Madami na ako nabasa na books from my dreams. Isa na yan ang mga Gospels. You saw me in one of your dreams? That's interesting. That's interesting. So, may nabasa ako na books from my dreams. Isa na yan ang mga Gospels ang title. Okay. Myla. As of now, focus pa ako sa meditation and searching sa pathway. Yes, that is very true, because meditation is the foundation of all spiritual experiences. So, do not, how should I say this? Do not pressure yourself, right? Do not push yourself too far. Just let it unfold within you naturally. Just sit and meditate and go on with your life. Sit, meditate, and go on with your life. Sit, meditate, and go on with your life. That's just it. Because the effects of meditation is not seen when you are meditating. It will be seen when you are going with your day-to-day lives na. The effects of meditation will be perhaps mapapansin mo na lang, iba na yung decision making mo. Mapapansin mo na lang, iba na yung motivations mo. Mapapansin mo na lang na dati gustong gusto mong bumili ng mga ganitong bagay. But, when after quite some time of meditating, parang nawalan ka na ng gana sa mga bagay na ito. Iba na yung sinisik mo. So, yun. Um, what you are seeking is also seeking you. You need to remember that. What you are seeking is also seeking you. So, when you are seeking that path that you want to follow, you need to follow, the path is actually seeking you as well. When you are seeking God, God is actually seeking you as well. And there will be that point of meeting. Once you realize that point of meeting, everything will make sense. Alright? Luna Arcana Light, I guess so, because all my past life regression, all 6 from different country like India, China, Japan, Spain, at sa Europe. Okay. That's very interesting. So may I ask, who did your past life regression? Did you pay someone to do that? Do you have a friend? Do you have a mentor? Okay. Nana FG, actually with regard to spiritual journey as per faiths, I went with different denominations, almost became a hospitaller nun before I decided to pursue medical studies, and then a third lay Carmelite. Wow, so you are a member of the Carmelite order right now. So you're a third order. Para sa mga hindi Catholics dito ha, third order means lay order. So you can actually be part of a religious order kahit hindi ka celibate, hindi ka pare, hindi ka madre. You are a third lay order. Interesting, Nana. You're so you are in that path of service. Kasi hindi naman talaga lahat marami mga tao na sinasabi nila gusto nila mag-seek spiritually, blah blah blah. But hanggang bibig lang. Walang actual work na ginagawa. No actual service. Alright, Christopher Lebrias. Di ko po alam kung spiritual seeking po. Catholic po ako dati tapos hanggang may nalaman ng konti sa science, doon na nagsimulang mawala yung faith ko kay God. At ngayon, di ko alam kung saan papunta. Yeah. Well, actually, me, as a spiritual practitioner, heto lang masasabi ko. It's actually good to question everything. Question your belief systems. Question the answers. Because sometimes the reason why we actually don't get the right answers in life because we ask the wrong questions. Alright? However, eto lang mapapayo ko sa iyo, Brother Christopher. Dumaan kami sa stage na ganyan. So, continue seeking. May nalaman kang konti sa science. But science kasi, brother, is still limited. And science will also tell you that our 5 senses is limited. Science will also tell you that science is not just about empirical evidence or physical evidence. There are concepts, there are theories, there are principles also in science that you need to understand. Especially in quantum physics, diba? Right now, the scientists has already discovered the math behind a 4th or a 5th dimension. However, they haven't reached that as of yet. And some scientists are claiming that this is quote-unquote heaven. But, this is a different realm. This is a higher realm. Hindi pa nila ito napupuntahan. However, there is already a mathematical equation behind it. So, what I'm trying to say is that reality is not just all about physical reality. We have a spiritual reality as well. And try to understand spirituality in the realm of science, and everything will be connected. Because slowly, quantum science, quantum physics is telling us that the entire universe is actually just made up of energy, and what we thought as something solid is actually not solid, and our minds actually affects our mind actually affects the outcome of our reality. Na try mo i-check mo itong double slit experiment, because they're trying to identify, the scientists were trying to identify what is a photon. Is it a wave or is it a particle? Now, every time the scientists would think or would have an they call that a null hypothesis. Pag sinet nila yung null hypothesis into pag sinet nila yung null hypothesis into the belief that the photon is a particle, the photon will behave as a particle. So during the next experiment, when they have that hypothesis na um, the photon is a wave, then the photon will behave as a wave. So how is that possible? They repeated the experiment over and over again, and they realized that the behavior of the photon, it becomes a wave or a particle depending on the consciousness or the mind of the person observing. So meaning you cannot get an objective answer out of that. It becomes subjective. It always becomes subjective. So meaning that our mind, our consciousness co-creates our reality, because the reality that we're living into right now, this is malleable. This is not something predetermined. Just like in the Bible na God created the world in 7 days, and the seventh day God rested. No, we are actually the co-creators of this universe. And the universe is not that solid. We are all connected. We are all created of light, out of light. And according to the Bible and other spiritual scriptures, God is light. And this is the light of creation. And we try to understand that everything in the universe is just energy, according to Albert Einstein. And what is energy? Energy is light. Yan nga, sinabi ko kanina, photon behaves either a particle or a wave depending on our consciousness. So meaning our consciousness affects our reality. Reality is malleable. Alright? So I hope I am making sense. And please take the words I am saying with a grain of salt. Do not believe in this because I told you. You need to have your own experience. Alright? Luna Arcana Light. Di pa kasama dyan na I'm born spellcaster, which ayoko na i-mention itong isa na to, ayaw ng mga tao to. Okay? So you are a spellcaster witch. What do you mean inborn spellcaster witch? Because what I've understood is that if you are a witch, the spells you will learn that through time. Someone will tell you, or it will be in a scroll or in a book. Alright. Nana FG, parang saan-saan ako napadpad, but it was a fun roller coaster in a way, even when there were downs as well, pero good naman up sometimes. Yes, that is the essence of the spiritual journey, because you're not always on top. Sometimes you're down, people mock you, people make fun of you, you will lose many friends, you will lose certain habits. However, it will be replaced with new friends, friends with higher vibrations, quote unquote. And in a way, your journey will be like a journey that can be likened to a pendulum. Good, bad, good, bad. But again, good experiences or bad experiences are just experiences, right? Um, it is just our consciousness that labels it as good or bad. Yeah, so that's very good, because kahit saan-saan ka mapadpad, meron kang matututunan doon. Mafsa Marcelino or Myla, Sor Myla. So I start reading Bhagavad Gita and Anunnaki. Diyan nagsimula ang lahat ng paghahanap ko sa path ko. I see. Luna Arcana Light, thanks anyway. Thank you for sharing, Soror. Mafsa, thank you, Frater. You're welcome, Sor Myla. So, yun. So Myla, you've mentioned that you were reading the Bhagavad Gita and the Anunnaki. Well, this is an interesting mix. But yes, again, anything that you read, take it with a grain of salt, right? Don't believe it right away, but you need to have your own experience. Um, Aside from reading, do your meditation, do your spiritual practices, and see for yourself, does this make sense or not? Yung take ko kasi dyan is ganito. When I'm reading the stories about the Anunnaki, aliens, star seeds, and whatnot, dami kasing mga story na ganyan ngayon. My take on that is, regardless if it's true or not, the end point is still enlightenment. The end point is still spiritual evolution. The end point is still awakening. Parang different versions lang. Alright? So, my my stand on this is that, okay, these are good stories. This can be true or this can not be true. However, I need to learn the wisdom coming from here. Kahit magbasa ka ng mga stories about Anunnaki, about the uh, Bhagavad Gita, and other sort of things that talks about enlightenment stuff. The stories may be different, the interpretations might be different, but the end point is that man needs to evolve. Man needs to awaken his inner self. All these stories, they talk about, man killing man, waging wars because of power, because of all this stuff, all this materialistic stuff na pinag-aawayan ng mga tao, because we forgot our spiritual origin, we forgot our transcendent aspect, or our spirit, our soul. So yun lang naman talaga yung mga lessons ng mga different stories na to. So, I'll just sit down and meditate and focus on my spiritual evolution, rather than argue if Anunnakis exist or not, rather than argue if the New World Order exists or not, rather than argue if totoo ba na hindi totoo ang pandemic na ito. Alright? Nana FG. Thought of wanting to be a priest when I was younger, though. Ouch. And it's only for males in the church, except for some denominations, though. But of course, found we can be our own priests in a way. Yes, Nana FG, have I told you that the Catholic Universalist Church ordains women priests, right? And you entering the ecumenical Gnostic order, once you accept to become a novice monk, then you will be ordained as a subdeacon. And the subdeacon is actually the highest order that the church can give to a laity, because you are mirroring a deacon already. However, that is the lowest of the major orders. So parang nasa boundary yan. And then, that is actually a path, if you like, that's actually a path towards priesthood. So you can be ordained from subdeacon to becoming a deacon, to becoming a priest, to become a bishop. So that is the pathway. That is the hierarchy in the Catholic Universalist Church. That is if you still want to become a priest, if you still have that dream within you. And yeah, you can discern on that. There's no rush, actually. There's no rush. So first things first, if you want to join the ecumenical Gnostic order, I already added you to the virtual monastery. I also added you to the GC. So yeah, just participate there, all right? And let's see. After a month, 2 weeks to a month, I will ask you guys one by one kung ano na yung decision niyo, if gusto niyo ba magpatuloy o hindi in the order. All right? Luna Arcana Light, Alona. Honestly, I can bring myself and I till it deepens in Gospels, and thanks to you, Frater. Uh, Yes, you're correct. I don't have read the Nag Hammadi and at Gospels, but I saw it in my dreams. I see. So you've seen the books in your dream. I see. Hmm, hmm. Jan, another thing to connect is that the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Yes, that's also a very good um, that's also a very good example, no? Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Sorry, nabubulol na. Yes, so um, there's actually infinite possibilities, no, within this world. That's why there is also a, a theory of multiverse na yung universe daw hindi lang siya iisa kundi it's actually an infinite possibilities of of pasts and infinite possibilities of futures because our future will actually depend on our each and individual choices that we make. The little choices that we make creates a big impact, create a big ripple in the future. And I have mentioned this before na yung mga seers, no, yung mga prophets na nakakakita ng future. Actually, what they are seeing is just one possible future because based on the decisions that the human beings are currently making right now, this is the probable future that will happen. That's why they see it, and it's a reality. It's already happening in the quantum field because the past, the present, and the future is not something that's linear, but it's interconnected. It all happens simultaneously. Creation and destruction, it all happens one and the same. So, but because us, we are three-dimensional beings, we are experiencing linear time. But in the higher universes, no, according to the ancient mystics, and also according to some theoretical physicists right now, that the past, the present, and the future actually exist simultaneously. But these are infinite possibilities, infinite pasts, infinite futures. So, kapag binago ng tao yung actions nila ngayon, there is a possibility that these prophets, these seers, yung mga nakakakita ng future, the future that they will be seeing will be different. Alright? Christopher Lebrias noted, Jen dating Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is the key principle in quantum mechanics. Very roughly, it states that if we know everything about where a particle is located, the uncertainty of position is small. We know nothing about its momentum. The uncertainty of momentum is large and vice versa. True. Because yung particle kasi in the quantum field, one particle can actually exist simultaneously at different locations and then it disappears and then it appears and it disappears again, and all the laws of physics, all our equations will be negated. It's really really different in the quantum field. Christopher Lebrias, akala ko lahat nasasagot ng science. Lumaki din ulo ko na akala ko I know everything na. Na-remind mo po ako. Thanks. At salamat din, brother, for joining our discussion. It's really, not bad to study science because sometimes kasi, as humans kasi, no, ganito kasi tayo, to see is to believe, right? Um, it's good for you to learn science. Tulad namin, no, we are in the spiritual path. We need to learn, or we need to study science so that we will be able to communicate our thoughts and ideas properly to the masses so that it would make sense to them when we share with them these things. Pag na-share namin to sa kanila, hindi kami magmumukhang tanga. Hindi kami magmumukhang Para bang, ano naman yan, magic-magic na naman yan pinag-uusapan nyo. Wala kayong basis, wala kayong scientific basis. Ganun naman talaga palagi eh, especially dun sa mga skeptics. So, um, if you are a spiritual seeker kasi, it is inevitable that you will have spiritual experiences. And this is not to brag ha. Anyone can have a spiritual experience once you focus on your inner seeking. Meditate, contemplate, inner seeking, and also, do some spiritual practices. Kahit wala kang religion ha, even if you don't believe in God, you just commune with the source of creation within you. When you actually, you will have spiritual experiences, and it will be hard to explain to others your understanding about something. Tulad ko ngayon, I don't believe in the Christian version of God, but I believe that there is a God because I have experienced God in my own way, in my meditation, in my spiritual practices, in every day. And this version of God that I have in me is very hard to explain to you because this is my experience, and you might be having a different experience of God within you. Um, but God is ultimate. God is infinite realities and infinite possibilities. This is infinite truth. And the aspect, the version of God that I have right now, that I experience right now within me, is just a tiny fraction of this infinite God, right? So that's why if I try to push my belief on someone else's throat, then that is not spirituality anymore. That is religions. That is religion, and that is religion already. That is religious indoctrination. So I don't do that. Instead, sit, meditate, have your own experience, and that experience, that is the image. Thanks for the invite and being able to share experiences. Have a good night, fellow fratters and sorors. Thank you, Nana FG, for dropping by. Thank you also for sharing your story with us. Good night. Good night. I hope you will be able to do your night practice so that, ang pinagdadaanan mo ngayon, Soror, I'm praying that you'll get through it, and I know that you will. Um, with the guidance of God within you. Namaste. Luna Arcana Light, no, I face it alone every year, and every movie I watch or book I have read, accidental, and it all come back to me in one shot. Mahirap kasi bumalik yung alaala mo sa past life nang di sinasadya. Yep. So you mean that your past life regression is just your own personal doing. I see. That's interesting because mostly kasi sa mga gumagawa ng past life regression, mga ganito, there is someone who facilitates it for them. So, yeah, it's but it's not impossible to facilitate it for yourself, but it's hard. It's hard. John, that thing, uh, uh, in the quantum realm, things are indeterminable because on a macrocosmic context, we are inclined to relate one property to another and vice versa. That is true. So, in the quantum level talaga, it's really unpredictable. You cannot determine just because it's here means it's there. It could be there, but it can also be here and here and here. Though it's here, it cannot be there. It might be there. Basta, hirap i-explain. Alright. Lunar Arcana Light, na di ka naman naghahangad na matandaan pa yun, all feelings of reborn, life and death is complete, nakakasakit ng damdamin. Yep, true, that is why. That's also a gift, no? I believe that ignorance is bliss. So when we are born into this world, we don't have any memories of our past lives. All right? We don't have any memories of our past lives. It's actually a gift because once we don't have memories of our past life, um, we can start where we are right now, right? Instead of, having guilt tripping on our past life or whatnot. So, wala na. Makakalimutan natin sino yung mga kaaway natin dati, sino yung mga taong sinaktan tayo dati. Instead, face today, face tomorrow with no regrets. And as much as possible, do not create any negative karma anymore that would harm your soul. Jan Dating, they say we have 11 dimensions according to string theory, but it can actually expand to more than that. When we consider that, at some point, these numbers won't matter much anymore. Yep. So, yun, 11 dimensions, but actually it can be like infinite dimensions. Maybe sa string theory, that's the limitation of our own consciousness, that is the, let's say, observable, or probably most likely yung pwede nating assess na observable, yun lang. Jan Dating, the note on infinite possibilities remind me of the butterfly effect. How can even one tiny action can change a lot in one's future, that every change would lead to branching out different networks of possibilities. Yep, that is true. And that's really mind-boggling. Talagang mind-blowing yan. Alright, so sino pa nandyan? Nasaan na si Frater Tim? Andyan ka ba, Frater Tim? Frater James, Mama Lenny, are you still there? Sino pa? Si Soror Nana natulog na. Sino pa? Sino pa ba nandito? Soror Mahila, are you still there? Abby, you're still there? Yes, okay, very good, very good. All right, so yes, yeah, Abby, are you still there? So you wanna join our conversation? What is, or can you please share with us your spiritual experience, or I mean spiritual journey? I'm sorry. If you're already in the spiritual path, are you, yeah, can you please share with us your story perhaps? Or if not, sino pa ba yung nandito kanina? Yes, please, Miss Abby, share your spiritual experience, all right? And sino pa yun? Yes, Christopher Librias. Brother, can you please share your story with us? You've made mention earlier kasi you're from a church, and then right now, parang dun na, nagsimula ka na mag-seek ng science kasi nagsisimula ka na mawala ng faith in God. Which is, I don't condemn you for that, because that's what happened to me. I became also an agnostic before I became a priest in the Catholic Universalist Church. Kung hindi siguro ako naging pare ng Catholic Universalist Church, dalawa yung path ko. I could be a spiritual atheist or I could have been a Buddhist right now, because Buddhism made more sense to me than any other religion. However, it just so happened that I discovered this path called Gnosticism. Later on, I also discovered Kabbalah. So Gnosticism and Kabbalah have really molded me. So this is an esoteric, a more spiritual and inner understanding of Christianity. So this is the esoteric side, the mystical side of Christianity, which is Gnosticism. Yeah. Alright, so dito pa pala kayo. Thank you po for staying. Okay, Abby. Basahin ko yung story mo ha. Abby, I am practicing witch, but I was raised in a born-again Christian household. My father was a pastor in the church. I loved my religion, and then I truly believed it. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty nice because you can be in a religious uh, tradition at the same time practice your spirituality because the journey kasi is within um, you can either have a religion or not choose to have a religion. However, your spirituality is something personal, not because the two of you belong in the same religion means you believe in the same truth, right? Because you have different intellect, you have different set of genes, you have different upbringing. So within you, your image of God is different from the image of God of your friend, right? And you have a different understanding of things. So bottom line, you really don't have the same beliefs, or at least the degree of understanding is really different. Christopher Lebrias, sorry po, masyadong simple yung utak ko. Di naman po ako takot mamatay. Pero sa process ng death, takot ako. Baka cause of death, i-cancer din kung saan mapupunta after death, hell, heaven, or reincarnation. Gusto ko lang yung comfort. And about the process, well, um, about the process of dying. Saan ka dun takot? Sa pain? Sa suffering? Abby Apuhin, every time I went to church, I would feel this overwhelming positive energy in the church. I would let myself absorb in worship and would cry every time. Also, I didn't know I was an empath then. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, because actually, when people are gathered together and you are in a way believing, or let's say you are participating in a spiritual work, for example, right, on that specific period of time you are in the church, right, everyone is praying to Jesus, or Holy Spirit channeling per se, all your minds at some point you have the same vibration, not just in your mind but also in your body, right? The music is uplifting, plus factor din yun kasi 'di ba sa mga born again Christians, talaga maingay, loud yung music, uplifting, magaganda boses ng mga singers, magagaling yung mga gitarista, magaling magsalita yung pastor, in G, everything, when everything is combined, it actually uplifts our soul because it is something that is attuned or aligned to you. Ang tawag ni Carl Jung dito, this is a psycho-spiritual effect whereby these elements triggers a spiritual effect within you. In ancient times, pag nasa simbahan ka, Roman Catholic Church to be specific, the bells, the incense, the hymns, the singing, the bands inside, born again churches, it actually facilitates the same effect towards people. Kaya nga lang, magkaibang ito, magkaibang panahon. So, before, the traditionalist way of doing worship versus the modern day of doing worship, it might be different aesthetically. However, the effects are the same and it follows the same principle. It follows the same concept. So, yun. Kaya, yun yung nafe-feel mo. When you are in the church, it's very overwhelming. You cry. Everyone is there. You absorb the energy. And that is good. Right? Abi Apuhin, but I knew that there must be something more out there. If there was something I didn't believe in, it was the absolute hell that the bad people were subjected to when they died. Mhm. Where did reincarnation fit in? If God is love, why did he subject his people to eternal suffering? And so the doubts crept in. Abi Apuhin, since high school I was interested in pagan ways but did not have time because life got in the way. But I always knew that there was something more. I would feel the energy of the room, feel feelings that were not my own. My dreams would always come true. I would know things about a person even though I've met them for the first time. I would even do manifestation without knowing it, and it will always come true. Once I cursed a person unintentionally, and his life went through hell until I forgave that person. I see. So, it seems to me, it comes across to me, Abby, that you have this, you are an empath, meaning it could be that your heart chakra is already opened, and you are just so receptive to energy. All right, and I hope that you know how to protect yourselves from negative energies or manifestations. All right, Christopher Librias, physical pain and suffering. I see. All right, so um, brother Christopher, in the Buddhist teachings, no, according to the Buddha, when he became enlightened, he discovered, or he uttered the Four Noble Truths. This was his realization when he was enlightened. He said, "Life is full of suffering." That's the first noble truth. The second is, the origin of suffering is attachment. Number three, there is a way out of suffering. And number four, it is the eightfold path. So number one pa lang, life is full of suffering. So suffering is inevitable in this world. Now, what is the reason for suffering? It is our attachment. So what is this attachment? Uh, Attachments means our uh, attachment to our titles, attachment to our achievements, attachment to our intellect, attachment to our beauty, attachments to our physical bodies, even attachment to our loved ones. So that's the reason why um, life is full of suffering. But there is a way out of suffering, and that is by following the Eightfold Path. And the Eightfold Path, according to the Buddha, this is the path that everyone should follow so that um, we will be so that we will be able to remove suffering from our lives. So the Eightfold Path can be likened to the Ten Commandments of the Christians. It's similar, but it's still different. So the point is, um, it is normal, no, to fear death. It is normal to fear physical pain and suffering. But when it is over, right? Because after that, no pain will leave you because yun nga, di ba? Patay ka na, right? And tapos, saan ka mapupunta, right? So, my take on that, brother, is that it's good that you are studying science. However, it's also good that you start um, studying, things that may link science and spirituality. And also, allow yourself to sit and meditate. If you sit and meditate, contemplate, and try to seek deep within you and ask these questions: who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? Those questions. Once you start asking those questions, you might not get the answers in an instant. However, those questions will drive you for more seeking. And once you start seeking, guided by those questions, sometimes, kasi, brother, it's not the answer that's important, but it's actually the quality of your questions. All right, sometimes the questions are far more important than the answers, because once you start asking questions, it will open up an immense possibility of it will open up an immense possibilities of knowing. Because once you stop your mind, I know that, alam ko na yan. So your mind stops learning, because it's either um, you were comfortable having a belief because someone told you, or you've read that somewhere and you're already comfortable with that, but to you. So what I'm trying to say is that right now you've already started to break your religious beliefs. That's good. You started seeking science. That's good. But seek more, right? And the seeking that I am telling you is not much of outside seeking, all right? And inner seeking doesn't require too much intellect. It's just sitting there, breathing, being aware of your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. If a thought comes in, do not entertain it, do not push it away. Just meditate. And your life will have more clarity if you do that. All right? Jan, that thing. It's nice dropping by dito. Gotta go though. Good night. Good night, Soror Jan. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you so much. Abi Apuhin, many around 3 months ago, a person reached out to me in FB Messenger and asked me if I wanted to know more about witchcraft and joined a GC. This started my journey. I see. Abby, that is actually good, because you are being with like-minded people already, because witchcraft has really ignited your, let's say, interest, right? Um, Actually, halos magkapareha kayo ng I think temperament ni Alona, ni Sor Alona. Sor Alona, are you still there? Um, yeah. So, I don't know if you know Sor Alona. By the way, saang GC ba ito? Are we friends, Miss Abby, on Facebook? Or are we on the same GC? Are you from 5D? Are you from 5D Spirituality in Catalysts, or in the Seekers GC? Christopher Librias, welcome, brother. Christopher Librias, replay ko to bukas. Good night. Okay, brother, good night. Good night. I know it's getting late na. Yeah, namaste. You may rest now. Alright, so sino po ba nandyan? Alright, so check ko lang. Um, okay, check ko lang muna. Um, Baka may gusto pa sumali. Wala na. Abby Apuhin, I am in the Seekers. Ano pala pangalan mo, Sir Abby, in the Seekers? Pero iba po yung GC na Sinaloa Watch Witchcraft. Yes, yes, I know. But what is your name in the Seekers? Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Alright. So yeah, sino pa bang hindi nakakapag-share ng stories nila? Nakapag-share na ba lahat? Check ko muna. Si Frater Tim, andyan ka ba Frater Tim Sabas? Tim, Frater Tim tapos na. James, andyan ka ba Frater James? Wala na. Alona, andyan ka pa ba? Myla, Myla, Sor Myla, andyan ka pa ba? Tapos ka na din mag-share, no? Sino pa? Hmm, Sino pa nandito? Umuwi na yung iba, natulog na yung iba. Si Soror Jan, umalis na din. Pati si Brother Christopher Lebrias, umalis na din. Okay. Frater Rochmain. Rochmain, andyan ka pa ba? Yeah, Frater Rochmain, sino yung in-invite mo kanina? Sino yung friend na in-invite mo kanina? Is he still awake? Sana pinasali mo siya dito. Kasi maganda yung usapan natin dito ngayon. Sana kaya si Frater Rochmain? Rochmain. Baka nakatulog na. Baka nakatulog na talaga si Frater Rochmain. Janelle. Hello, hello? Can you hear me? Or nawala ko kanina? Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, though our spiritual journeys are maybe different in the outer, but internally it is actually the same. It follows a certain pattern. There's an archetype. First, something in us ignited. Yung iba sa atin as early as childhood, nagsimula na mag-seek. Yung iba nasa teenage years na siguro. And we started our journey, and then along the way, um, we have encountered different challenges, and then until such time that you know it seems that there are meaningful coincidences. Yung nangyayari is parang there is there is synchronicity. Parang nagiging synchronize yung mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa buhay natin. You met someone, you've read something, it leads you here, here, and there, and it's wonderful. However, after that, no, the next thing is that um, there will be a process of purging and purification, and that is what we call the dark night of the soul. So sometimes, no, maybe that's a death of a loved one, breakups, job loss, health problems, pagkalugi ng negosyo, or whatnot. Because that's part of the process. That's part of, shedding off our outer scales. Because once you follow a specific spiritual path, the light of God, or let's say the divine light, this cosmic light will try to purify us in a way that it will break all the limiting beliefs that we have. This will break the old patterns that we have, old habits. Perhaps it will really change our vibrations. Our friends will leave us, and even our family members will find us weird. And there might be uh, a problem when it comes to your health, to others. Um, yeah. However, this is just part of the process, because if we try to really understand deeply the words in the Bible, that you cannot face God if you are not pure. So there is this purging, and just like the Hindu god Shiva, the god of destruction, Shiva will destroy you, but Shiva will only destroy what is not pure in you, because Shiva cannot destroy the divine in you, because that is him. Shiva and you are one. So Shiva will destroy everything that is impure about you. And that is what is happening in the dark night of the soul. So some of us has already been through that. And actually there is not just one dark night of the soul. It will realign our lives back after the dark night of the soul. That is where we can say to ourselves that we have been through that purification of fire. That is the baptism of fire that has been described in the Bible. All right. So yeah, time check. It's already 12:39. So I think I will be ending this live soon. By the way, Frate Rochmain, are you already there? Frate Rochmain, are you still there? Luna Arcana Light, that's why I always said I don't argue, I don't explain, I do battle. Alright, Myla, I'm still watching while working. Thank you, Soror Myla. Um, Abby, thank you, Frater. Thank you din po. So, so halos lahat nandito pala yung nasa GC ng nasa GC ng Seekers. Well, guys, Fratters and Sorors, thank you so much for joining me, this really means a lot to me. We can actually have this discussion more often. Kasi every Monday, I schedule it to go live on YouTube. Kasi I'm trying to also add um, watch hours dito sa YouTube so that, hopefully one day this page or this channel can be monetized. However, I'm really passionate about, talking about these things. So, kung wala naman kayong ginagawa and, you can join me in these sessions, then, why not, di ba? And it's really good if also we bring people who are new to the spiritual path, or perhaps we're trying to show them what is our path, or you want them to ask questions or clarifications on certain things. Then this is actually a safe zone. This is a safe spot for anyone who is seeking to ask questions, to share about themselves. This is a safe zone. No one will judge you, no one will mock at you, because when you are in a spiritual path kasi, the impossible seems possible to you na. Kasi when there is inner seeking, you know that you have a transcendental aspect, right? You know that you have a soul, you have a spirit. It's not knowing because somebody told you. It's not knowing because your church leaders told you, but because you have that experience in you that you will really attest that, yeah, I am a spiritual being and this human experience is just temporary. Alright? So, Brother Rochmain, ikaw pa lang yung hindi nakakapag-share. Alright, so please, Frater, share with us your spiritual journey. Right? You can make it brief, just for us to have an idea what was your spiritual journey. Alright? Alright. Okay. So, para dun sa iba, I know, guys, you've already shared all your stories, right? So, yeah, before we end this, I think I might be ending this around 1. Okay. So, if you have any questions or clarifications, or you want to talk about something, even if it's off topic, pwede. Just ask any question. All right. While waiting for Frater Rochmain to share his story. Rochmain, I'm back. Pasensya na nawag si Commander. It's alright. I feel you. Christopher Librias, I'm back. Uy, um, Brother Christopher, are you Topher? Right? Are you Topher Librias? Yeah. Christopher Librias, di ako mapakali hanggang di ko nasasabi to. Okay, sure, please do so. Mm-hmm. All right, just ask any questions, even if it's off topic. All right, it's fine. Okay. All right, so ito na yung answer ni Frater Rochmain. Nagsimula nung nagtanong ako sa sarili ko kung totoo ba ang Diyos. Okay. Yeah, true. That's actually a valid question. when you start asking those kinds of questions, then that opens up uh, a huge number of possibilities of knowing the truth or gnosis. Alright. Christopher Librias, nakadepende lang po yung faith ko sa kung sino yung nag-iimpluwensya sa akin. Like pag magaling yung pastor na dadala ko. Yeah, that is normal. That's human nature. Because if someone is really, very persuasive, yung argument niya is very compelling. So of course, most likely you would believe that person because that person you feel that you find comfort listening to that person. Christopher Lebrias, pag may mga videos online about faith at ibang religion talking about God, nadadala ako kahit di ko pa na-experience yung sinasabi nila. Yep, that is normal. That is normal. You need to understand this. Pastors, preachers, or anyone um, preaching about a specific religion or movement, they're actually trained. If not talented, they are trained in a way that the words that they are saying would really be persuasive. Na parang hindi siya persuasive, but in a way, it is really persuasive because it has a lot of emotion on it. Their argument seems to be very, very compelling. And they have studied ways and methods on how to go directly to your heart. So once they do that, they know how to, where to touch you. That's the time that you will be following them as well. But you would start to listen to them because it seems that tama, no? You will have that aha moments when they are talking. And they talk with a lot of passion, um, with some quote unquote biblical evidences kuno plus scientific evidences kuno and so on. So voila. But the thing is, if these things affects us, if these things moves us, then that only means that external stimulus has a control over our life instead of us taking charge of our lives, right? That's why I really love it when um, the Buddha said this. I love this statement when he said, "Do not believe." Sana yun. So, eto yung pinaka-favorite ko na quote from the Buddha, no? Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. So yun. Pag may mga videos online about faith at ibang religion talking about God, nadadala ko kahit di ko pa na-experience yung sinasabi nila. Christopher Librias, di ko sure kung anong nangyayari sa akin, pero lahat ng sinasabi nila, tinatanong ko. Curiosity. Yeah, that's actually pretty normal. You need to ask. Sabi ko kanina, di ba? You need to question the answers because they have given you the answers even though you didn't start by questioning it. So now let's do the reverse engineering. They've given you answers. Ask a question. This is God. Why God? Why do I believe? Why do I have to believe in God? What if I believe in God but a different God, not your God? Would it make a difference? Why would God be angry? If He is God, why would He be angry? He's already complete, right? Why would He get angry to something insignificant as me? Things like that. Like, question the answers. Alright, nasaan na si Frater Rochmain? Anong kasunod ng story mo, bro? Nagsimula na nagtanong ka sa sarili mo kung totoo ba talaga ang Diyos. And then what happened next? Wala lang. You just ask. No action. Luna Arcana Light, I hear more terms to all things I have experienced in my life sa'yo ngayon. Maybe this all things I experienced na nakita na kita before is one reason I can find what I'm seeking for the terms of all. So you are telling me that there is a possibility na nagkita na tayo dati in previous life, perhaps? Luna Arcana Light, those from my dreams to present. Okay, so you are hearing the terms I am talking right now, pero na-experience mo na ito before, right? Christopher Librias, wala po bang sked na live na mas maaga? Oy, Frater, I'm really sorry. Ano kasi pinapatulog ko pa yung anak ko. Saka ako nagla-live. So, mostly, 10 p.m., 10:30, mga ganong oras na ako nakakapag-live. I also do live on Mondays kasi rest day ng asawa ko pag Monday. So, hindi siya conflict sa schedule. Because this is her PC, I'm using this. Yung PC ko kasi dun sa sala, medyo medyo luma na, medyo mahina na. So, eto. So, the resources, the time, lang talaga, Mondays, dito talaga schedule ko on YouTube. However, from time to time, I do live naman on Facebook. Alright, so maybe you can catch me when I'm live on Facebook. Pwede rin. Alright. Hopefully, no, I'll inform you. Are we friends on Facebook, Brother Christopher? Let me check. Yeah, I'll add you as friend, ha? Please confirm, okay? Okay. Luna Arcana Light. Yes, Frater, totoo po yan. I do experience before ko makita yung mga terms doon. I see. Rochmain. At doon, naging parang chain reaction, bumungad lahat ng mga ideas and knowledge kung saan ako magsisimula. At naglabasan din yung mga tao na naging instrumento at guide ko kung paano ko masasagot yung tanong. Yep, so synchronicity pa rin. So, di ba, just like what I've discussed earlier, Our paths may be different. However, when we started to take action to go into an inner seeking, an inner journey, it seems like there is a synchronicity, no? Parang may chain of events na nangyayari. You read this book, you go to this place, you met this person, you've watched this video, you've downloaded this file, and everything will get connected. All right? So yun. Yeah, kasi ito si Frate Rochmain. Nakita kami dati nito sa inuman. Right? So we were drinking because yung kaibigan kong babae, kaibigan siya ni Rochmain. Eto pala. Yung kaibigan kong babae, yung boyfriend niya that time, pinsan niya si Rochmain. So, we were drinking. I think that was in the beach. I forgot if it's my birthday or sinong birthday yon or birthday ng kabarkada namin. Tapos, dinala niya si Rochmain. So, we talked and, everything made sense. And that time, Rochmain is still active in their church, I think. Born again Christian, right? Mhm. And then, the rest was history. We became good friends. Team Sabas, hi Frater, as usual, yung opinion ko, Zoom call, then shared as live. Hirap mag-type, ha? Yes, Frater, so maybe next time, no? Yeah, I'll try downloading Zoom uh, on my phone, and then, pwede ba? Pwede ba yun? Phone, tas pwede ba ako mag-live? Yeah, basta, live lang ng YouTube. Kasi sa YouTube, before ma-monetize, kailangan mo ng 4,000 hours. Grabe naman. Yun nga iba, halos everyday na nagla-live. Pero parang hirap naman yata nun. Tapos wala na tayong pag-uusapan kasi araw-araw. Parang ano. So yun, that's why I'm also aiming to increase my watch time. Aside from creating videos on YouTube, I also do live to increase my watch time. But this is not just merely for watch time. I also love doing this. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I am learning many things. You know, People think that they learn from me, but actually, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. I learn a lot from others, and then I am synthesizing it inside of me through my meditations and my spiritual practices, and that's it. Astral projection, out of the body experience, and ascension or upgrading of my DNA. All are not just happening this, all things have a reason. Yes, everything has a reason talaga, Soror. This is not an accident that this is happening. This is still a synchronicity, right? Ricardo Srochmain, Omel, yes, associated pa ako sa mga born again. Umalis na ako, toxic na kasi sila. I feel you. I feel you, brother. I feel you. So yun na, let's just not talk bad or negative about them. Hayaan na lang natin sila sa mga buhay nila. Maybe this lifetime they will be enlightened, maybe next lifetime, maybe more lifetimes. Hayaan na muna natin sila. Alright, basta the most important thing is you've already removed yourself from the equation. You've already removed yourself from, from the shackles of oppression. Alright? Luna Arcana Light, hala, 4K hours, grabe naman. Yes, kailangan mo ng 4K na hours na watch time sa YouTube before you can actually monetize contents. And that's within a year, ha? Kailangan mo yung mano in a year. And also, you need to have 1,000 subscribers. So for now, I already have... Ilan na ba subscribers ko? I have 414 subscribers. Actually, I'm quite positive na ma-achieve ko naman yung 1,000 subscribers within a year. However, the 4,000 hours watch time, that's still a question mark. But still, I am doing this. ah, baka sakali madagdagan yung watch time, di ba? But nevertheless, I still continue to create videos, yung videos na talagang nagaano, um, videos na yun bang maraming magkaka-interest na tingnan. Ang problema kasi ngayon, problema, problema, di naman talaga siya problema. But my situation right now is that they think that my content is too serious because it's spiritual, it's more about these things, and it's in a way a niche. Medyo specific siya. Yung mga sumisikat kasi ngayon, yung mga content ng mga artista, yung mga challenge, or yung mga yung mga pa-comedy ba, mga patawa. Which is the thing that I am doing right now. Kasi right now we need to look at things as it is. Ito kasi mga entertainment na nakikita natin sa labas. These are all distractions. I'm not saying that entertainment is bad. However, excessive indulgence into entertainment, hindi na siya middle path, hindi na siya middle way. And what happens kasi right now, during the pandemic, is that maraming mga amusement parks na nagsarado, maraming mga bars na nagsarado. So, we are in a way forced to look at the world as it is. Yung mga bagay or mga lugar na pinupuntahan natin, mga palabas na pinapanood natin, to escape from reality, wala na. So now we are forced to look at the world as it is. And that is why I am creating these types of videos. Frater, yung meditation ko nung bata pa ako, iba ang term ko, pati mga mudra, wala naman ako nun. Lunar Arcana Light, pero mas mahaba ang mga nagagawa kong astral projection. Tinawanan ako nun. Sabi ko na I can take it like up to 1 to 6 hours. Sabi sa akin, buti buhay ka pa. So you are also doing astral projection. That's interesting. 1 to 6 hours? Halos buong sleep time mo na yun Lunar Arcana Light, tumawa din ako. Sabi ko, araw-araw ko yan nagagawa. So I'm just telling my experience. Ricardo Srochman Omel, na-realize ko na hindi ako bagay doon. I seek something far more deeper kasi bro, hindi ako satisfied sa mga teachings nila. Very literal. Yep, that is true. That is true. That is what is commonly happening, especially in the Christian religions, in the Christian sect. So, Team Sabas, minsan ang meditation practice ko kahit alam ko na excessive. Yep, that is true. Have you read that article I posted on my page about so you think you're enlightened, or just when you think you are already enlightened? There are actually 3 stages or 3 process in order for you to fully assimilate the Dharma within you. First is understanding of the Dharma. Second is experience the Dharma. Lastly is realization. So, understanding of the Dharma, you have it. Next is experiencing the Dharma. That is when you have that spiritual experience in you, and you get addicted to that spiritual experience. And at first it's good, but it suddenly becomes like a dopamine kick. Things though are just like moods of meditation. Though, if you are experiencing this, it might tell you that you are in a way that's like those were like benchmarks. The thing is, if you get attached to this, um, will be um, let's say enlightenment will not be experienced because you wanted to dwell on the spiritual experience rather than attaining enlightenment. So, according to the I don't know the ancient masters, enlightenment thou realization is like a mountain, and these spiritual experiences are the clouds. So the clouds are moving; they keep on shape shifting or whatnot. But after that one, once the clouds has been cleared, what you will see is the mountain, and the mountain will not move regardless if what is the shape of the cloud. So, yun. Lunar Arcana Light, that time interval daw dapat ayon sa mga specialist at mga nagsulat na ng book. Sabi ko, I don't base on medical books. Ano po kaya yun? Bakit iba sa usual time na sinasabi nila? Am I in error in this space? Well, um, I think I'm not the right person to answer that question because according to your story, no, you are doing astral projection very often. Now, if you will ask me about my experience, um, I only did it like a handful of times. So, and I'm not. I would say I am not an adept or an expert when it comes to those things because I'm also not sure if what I experience is really astral projection or not. Um, but I had some experiences, but not in a way that just like what you've discussed. And I think my experience is very, very quick. Ricardo Srochmin Omel, pero I still thank them. Isa kasi sila sa instrument na nagpabago ng perspective ko about religion and God. Kaibigan ko pa rin yung some of their members, pero si Pastor ang hirap eh. Yeah, it's totally fine. Um, Iba kasi sa kanila, pag umalis ka na, sasabihin kasi nila na nag-backslide ka na, napunta ka na sa kadiliman. Yung mga ganon. Yung mga ganong bagsakan, yung ganong mga kwentuhan. And I don't buy into those BS. Sorry. But yeah, it's good that you still are friends with some of their members. Uh, and it's also surprising that your vibration is still at par with them. Kasi minsan kasi talagang totally nawawala yung mga friends mo from your previous path. But if you still have good relations with them, that's very nice. L- Luna Arcana Light, okay po, maybe I will meet that person soon. I'm positive I am. Yes, you will be meeting, you will be meeting many people in this path, and each and every person is specializing on a different field, because the spirituality is very diverse. The spiritual realm is very diverse. Um, Ako, I would say that I am more inclined to the um, medieval Gnosticism, and also the pre-Christian teachings of Yeshua. So my path is more on aligning these two things: the traditional, the authentic teachings of Yeshua that we have slowly been discovering right now, connecting it with the medieval Gnosticism, removing the unnecessary information or unnecessary teachings in Gnosticism, so that it will make more sense. It will it will be more aligned, and this is the path that I am following right now. Even the three spiritual practices that I have shared, for the order, those are actually my personal spiritual practices as well. And for me, I find it very effective, very simple, straightforward, very effective. Uh, and when I apply this, um, certain things in my life has changed, has improved. The way I treat people, I communicate with people. Uh, Yun, marami na bago. Even the way, my way of thinking. Kasi if hindi nyo na naitatanong, no? When I was, anong tawag nito? When I was in the initial stage of my spiritual seeking kasi, um, I was really into into new age stuff. Halo-halo na yung pinanonood ko, pinakikinggan ko, and whatnot. But when I started to really follow a specific meditation practice, of course, sometimes I forget, but when I remember to meditate, I meditate, and it became a habit. What happens is that things become more clearer in my mind. So instead of trying to understand these different things as an absolute truth, why not try to understand these things not as an absolute truth, but perhaps a spiritual truth, or a metaphysical truth, right? Yun. Um, so, yun. There are so many people in the path, in the spiritual path. Different field. May mga witches, mga wican, no? Merong mga shamans, mga shamanic healing, if you focus. Nakafocus sila sa mga plant medicines and whatnot. Uh, ano pa? Marami. Marami pa. So, ako naman, that's my path. So the 1% Better podcast. Hola, new subscriber. Oi, who's this? Hello there. The 1% Better podcast. Hello there. Hello there. Thank you for joining. Actually, patapos na kami. We're almost done. But, still thank you for joining in. Thank you for subscribing. All right? And Luna Arcanalite, Illuminati. Yaan mo na lang yun. Buti na ganun lang. Illuminati. Yaan mo na lang yun. Buti nga, ganun lang ako daw. Diablo na daw ako. That's what they think if you try to follow a different path na hindi sila familiar. Alright? This is the path or the road less taken. Lunar Arcanalite, pati kamag-anak ko gusto na ako ipasok sa mental pag uwi ko. The 1% Better podcast. You don't have to accept everything as true. You only have to accept it as necessary. Kafka. It's very good. It's very true. Yeah. So I actually agree with that because sometimes no, there are myths and legends that contains spiritual truths, and once we try to understand it, you know, it will um, it will mold us uh, to a better path. You know, it will mold us in a way that we will be walking in a much more better path of life. Um, Especially in the Bible, especially in the New Testament, it's just a product of oral tradition, and everything, not everything there written is can be understood literally, right? Because there are things there that has been um, you know changed through time, from generation to generation, from culture to culture. Just try to imagine Hebrew Aramaic transferred to Greek, transferred to Rome. So ang dami ng changes. So what happens is that the version of the story of the Messiah 2000 years ago is really really different. That's why instead of trying to understand the Bible literally, you try to understand it as a metaphor. You try to understand it in a way that, okay, what could be the lesson this story is teaching me? Even though this sounds very BS, right? That's actually the thought, all right? And just like, oh sige, tayo mga millennials, born in the 90s, born in early 90s, 1990. Who molded our values? Parents ba natin? Right? Our friends, our peers? Actually, no. It is more likely the TV shows that we've watched, right? We've all got the values of Eugene, Jeremiah, San Goku, di ba? So these things, these are myths, right? These are fictions. But even though these are fiction, this is fiction. Kahit na hindi totoo yung mga powers nila, hindi totoo yung story, but the idea, the morals, the lesson, the universal message that we need to learn embedded on that specific TV series or embodied by that specific character on TV, that is something that we need to take, right? It doesn't matter if totoo ba yung Reagan ni Eugene o hindi. Kung totoo ba na talagang may alien na katulad ni Superman. Or kung totoo ba talaga na pag nakagat ka ng gagamba magiging Spider-Man ka. That's not the essence kasi of the story. We watch those movies because we share the same qualities as them. That's what we are trying to look for. And when that resonates with us, that triggers something in us, then that specific movie, that specific character molds us when we were growing up. All right. Ricardo Srochmain Omel, Namaste Frater. The 1% Better Podcast. Na-excite ako, I might find my tribe here. Namaste, welcome, welcome. Luna Arcana Light, pag uwi ko next year at pasok ako sa mental, I will let them kung paano nila gagawin yun. Yes, shock them with the truth. Sabihin mo sa kanila, oy, alam ko kung anong gagawin nyo. Luna Arcana Light, hi Better Podcast. Hi Better Podcast. Oo nga, ang cute ng 1%. Luna Arcana Light, fave anime ko, Inuyasha at Naruto. Yeah, Inuyasha at Naruto. Up until now, I still love Naruto. The The story of Naruto kasi revolves most likely or borrows the concepts of Hinduism and Buddhism. Very, very powerful. And they have portrayed it in a way na talagang swak siya. Naruto pala and Sasuke are the reincarnation of those brothers in the past who were doomed to fight forever kasi yung tatay nila isa lang yung pinili na maging successor, right? But on their current lifetime, nagpakita ulit yung tatay nila. Tapos, yung ginawa ng tatay nila, shinare niya yung lahat ng kapangyarihan niya, dinivide niya to Naruto and Sasuke. So they both possess the chakra of the Sage of the Sixth Path. You know, stories like that. It affects us. It molds us as a human being. So that is the power of myths, no? According to Joseph Campbell. That's the power of myth. No? Hi Mama Jo, shout out to everyone. Hi Mama Jo, super late na ako. Yes po Mama Jo. Super late ka na po. It's already 1:22 p.m. So it's really late na. So I think I will be ending this. I'm really sorry Mama Jo. If you like Mama Jo, you can review the video tomorrow. You can review the topic. Medyo mahaba-haba na yung usapan. We were actually talking about each and everyone's spiritual journey. So they have shared their spiritual journey. At kung saan na sila ngayon sa kanilang journey. Alright. Luna Arcana Light, I like Kagome Inuyasha, infinite love despite na isa demon and the other is incarnation in human form. Yep. Christopher Librias, good night. Thank you sa wisdom. Good night then, brother. Christopher Librias. Thank you for sharing your story, right? So yeah, hopefully we'll catch up on Facebook, no? Send me a message on Facebook, and yeah, let's have a discussion. All right. Okay, so yun, wala na bang mag-share ng ano nila? Rochmain, brother, tapos na ba yung sharing mo? Tapos na ba yung story mo, brother Rochmain? Alright, so siguro wala na siguro mag-share, no? So before I end this live stream, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who like I would like to say thank you to everyone who joined. Frater Tim Sabas, thank you. James Legaspi, thank you so much, Frater, for joining. Luna Arcana Light, thank you so much for joining. Sino pa? Soror Abby, thank you. Thank you for joining. Sino pa si Soror Myla? Soror Myla, thank you. Also, Brother Louie and Class Vlog, thank you for dropping by, brother. Sino pa ba? Si, Uy, si Mama Lenny. Mama Lenny, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening, ma. Sino pa? Uy, si Soror Jan. Thank you for dropping by. I think wala na siya rito, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, Sino pa ba? Nana FG, wala na siya dito, but I still thank you, Nana, for dropping by. Also, yes, brother Christopher Librias, brother, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sino pa ba? Sino pa ba? Brother Rochmain, even though you're late, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. At ito pa, si The 1% Better Podcast. Thank you so much for dropping by. I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Um, Also, Mama Jo, thank you sa pag thank you for joining us. Pero it's very late na po. So yeah, I need to end this na po. 11% na rin yung cellphone ko. Tapos it's 1:27 a.m. So I need to sleep. Tas bukas, babantayan na naman ng bata. Alright, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Um, I really had fun. I learned a lot from everyone. I learned a lot from your individual journeys, and I found our similarities. Though we have differences, but yes, the journey is the same. No, there's an archetype. There is a specific pattern in our journey. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining. So sino kaya to si ano no? Si 1% ano yun? Ano yung pangalan niya? The 1% Better Podcast. Alright, I'll try to subscribe on his page, a YouTube channel. Christopher Librias, nag-try pala ako ng meditation kaso di ko alam yung proper way. May guide po ba kayo or nasa previous video mo na po? Yeah, Brother Christopher, I have a video. It's how to calm your mind amidst chaos and anxiety. So, type ko na lang dito. How to calm. Alright, how to calm your mind amidst chaos and anxiety. That is the title of my video. Check it. Yeah, check it here on my YouTube channel. It's there. It's very easy to do. Yeah, you can do this. You can do this. And also, we also have three different spiritual meditation. We have three different sadhanas or spiritual practices, meditation techniques, and contemplation. So yun. Yeah, you can check that one out. Descartes, what's up? Oy, kapatid. You're late. Actually, patapos na kami. Nagwi-wave goodbye na lang ako sa lahat. Anyway, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Descartes, for joining. But unfortunately, I am already ending this live streaming. I've been streaming now for 3 hours already. And I'm really, really sleepy right now. Medyo, ano na, medyo naglalag na yung utak ko ng konti. And I still have to do the evening sadhana. So I need to do the evening meditation, evening contemplation pa. So yun, ha? So yeah, everyone, guys, see you all on Facebook. At para dun sa mga postulants, mga fratres and sorors sa Ecumenical Gnostic Order, see you on the GC. And see you sa group natin sa virtual monastery natin. Alright, so I hope and I pray that everyone will really discern properly on their vocation. And once you have properly discerned kung ano talaga yung path na susundin nyo, then let me know so we can process the necessary arrangements on the acceptance and ordinations for monkhood. All right, so this is TM Joseph. I am your Frater Joseph sa Ecumenical Gnostic Order, or others call me Father Joe, but I prefer to be called as a brother to the world. All right, thank you so much, guys, for your time, and please do allow me to bestow this blessing. This is the Birkat Kohanim, or the priestly blessing. Yevarukeka Adonai, Panav Eleka Vyasim Leka Adonai, Namaste.